Good day to everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So, I just came from the ferry because my son leaves today to go back to the United Kingdom. Today is the 21st of March 2024. And, a little bit of a bittersweet moment because I don't really like to say bye byes, and he doesn't like it either. So, a bittersweet moment. What is the sweet moment? I'm not even sure. So, probably it's just a bitter moment. Because every father wants to really, be there for his children, teach his children, certain things. And him being in the United Kingdom, and I'm not able to actually teach him certain things. But at the end of the day, he is doing well with his education and so forth in the United Kingdom. And while I'm at the ferry, you know, people were talking as usual, and people have ideas. And the question is, what happens now that people leave Montserrat? What are we going to do? Do we just continue to wait for another St. Patrick's event, St. Patrick's celebration, for us to actually boost the economy again? What happens to the economy when there is no activity, like people coming back home? And while I talk about people coming back home, I have to say respect to the people who live overseas, who go through the hustle and bustle every single day. You know, personally, I don't believe that people really want to live overseas. I don't think that Montserrat people really want to live away from Montserrat. But of course, it's simply because of the opportunities which are not available. Hence the reason why people have to leave. Because if Montserrat had opportunities, definitely people would have preferred to live in Montserrat. And while talking to a lady, she said to me a lot of people she knows that are elderly, they want to come back home. But they are not going to be able to come back home because they need proper medicals. And while we were there, another guy was speaking about, food security, and he was saying if the people that came for St. Patrick stayed here another 2 weeks, Montserrat would have not been able to feed the people. And I do agree because a lot of things have been scarce since that people came in, because of course a business person would not be able to stock up enough things for people because we're not accustomed to having a lot of stuff, because things, especially in the supermarket, would spoil on you. And nobody knows exactly how things are going to be. And I was looking at the ferry because they said that the ferry was supposed to, end its contract on the 31st of March. I don't know if that still exists. And, we were all saying that it is a shame to know that this ferry is going to leave Montserrat because, you know, we really need a ferry in Montserrat. And it would have been nice if, in case the government could have just said to the owners of the ferry, look, we're going to buy the ferry from you. And so you wouldn't need to have to take it back to Mexico. And, some kind of arrangements would have been made. Or if Montserrat had some rich people, I'm saying if Montserrat had, because it is my opinion that Montserrat do not have any rich people. Because if somebody was really rich in Montserrat, there is no way that the ferry would have actually believed in Montserrat. You know, we do not really have rich people in Montserrat. And that is the truth. Because if somebody is rich, they would actually buy these things and use this as an investment. And I'm pretty sure that any government would have to hire the services of this company. It is a risk, but it is a good risk. You have bad risk, you have good risk. And this is not a bad one. So I just wish that we had people in Montserrat that actually were rich enough to purchase these things and have, you know, the love for Montserrat and willing to use their money instead of banking it and sending it overseas to other banks. But as I say, it is a bitter sweet, but it's more to me bitter because at the end of the day, when our people keep leaving Montserrat and going back home, it cripples the country. And right now, Montserrat needs all the help possible. And although I respect the people who live overseas, I don't know how they live overseas because I personally would not be able to live overseas because I cannot deal with the hustle and the bustle and that's the life. Personally, I don't like to work for people. I do not like to work for people, and I don't think that people actually like to work for people. People work for people because they have no choice and they need to pay their bills. And I also respect the people who decide to stay in Montserrat because sometimes when people come in and you see and you speak to them, sometimes you yourself want to actually leave and try something also. And I believe that a lot of people are going to actually leave, you know, based upon the fact that they have spoken to people and people would have encouraged them to come to England or United States. And that's the issue in Montserrat. We keep losing population. And sometimes, people have to be honest with themselves. And I'm going to be very honest with you in all aspects because I am not here for political means or because of political aspirations or whatever. Politics is just a name. Personally, I'm just here to represent people. And that is what politicians are supposed to really be doing. They are supposed to really be representing people. I am only here just to, be a voice to people, be an advocate, because most time people do not really want to speak. And, it is very important that we try to keep Montserrat alive. And for people to stay in Montserrat right now, we have to give thanks to everybody, whether you're a Montserratian or you're from another country. It doesn't matter whether you're from Haiti, Guyana, Jamaica, wherever you come from, it doesn't really matter. We just want to thank the people for staying on Montserrat because when you really think about it, when everybody leaves Montserrat, what will happen to Montserrat? What will happen to your property? That's the good question. And that's the reason why people who have property, they need to actually think about that. You know, the property that you have, will it still be your property if people leave Montserrat? That means if you have a lot of property, then you need to actually sell some of the property so that you could keep Montserrat alive and keep your property in your name. Because I could guarantee you, if in case that Montserrat continues to depopulate, the property that you have that you think has so much value, it will not have any value because you will lose your property. And we just have to come up with ways to keep Montserrat alive. I have been thinking a lot about ways to keep Montserrat alive, but what I realize a lot of things in Montserrat is basically about maintenance. It's just the same budget every year to do maintenance, basically keep the country clean, pay salaries and so forth. I mean, it's basically just maintenance, it's not development. And that is the reason why the governments have to accept as much opportunities as they can, and they must give as much opportunities also. Otherwise, Montserrat will no longer exist because Montserrat cannot continue for the next 5 years exactly as Montserrat is right now. So, yeah, this is what I basically want to say today. I just came from the ferry, see my son off, and I hope that he has a great trip. Everything goes well for him back in the United Kingdom. So, thank you again for watching, listening. Take care. Bye.